Please open in your learning workbook to page 225. We're now going to do another example using a financial model that is compounded continuously. Suppose that $2,600 is initially invested in an account at a fixed interest rate compounded continuously. Suppose also that after 3 years, the amount of money in the account is $3,014. Find the interest rate per year. Write your answer as a percentage. Do not round any intermediate computations and round your percentage to the nearest hundredth. Okay, great. So before we begin this problem, let's read the instructions. There's a few things in here I want to take note of. The first thing is it says to write your answer as a percentage, and that should be rounded to the nearest hundredth. So that means that our final answer at the end of this problem is going to look like this. It's going to be a percent, and it's going to be rounded to the nearest hundredth, so there will be 2 decimal places. Maybe there'll be something in front of it, maybe there'll just be a 0 in front of it. Okay, the next thing it says is do not round any intermediate computations. This is a standard warning in ALEKS. This is telling you that for problems like this, you should do all of your math and get an exact final answer first, then round at the end. Do not round in the middle of a problem. All right, so now that we've dealt with those instructions, I'm going to erase those from the board to give myself just a little more space, leaving the part of the problem that will allow us to actually solve the problem. Okay, let's begin. So the first thing I notice is that this says it's compounded continuously. That tells me what formula to use. A equals PE to the RT. All right, so let's read the problem and start filling in the values of the variables as we go. Suppose that $2,600 is initially invested. That's telling me P. P is the starting amount at an account at a fixed interest rate compounded continuously. Suppose also that after 3 years, so that's going to be T, the amount of money in the account is $3,014. That's going to be A. A represents the amount at some point in the future. Find the interest rate. Okay, great. So we've plugged into our formula. It says find the interest rate. That would be R. Notice that R, our variable, is up in the exponent, which makes this an exponential equation, specifically an exponential equation of type 2. So the base of the exponential expression is E, not 2600E. So in order to put this in the proper form, I have to divide both sides by 2,600 first. So then I'm going to get 3,014 divided by 2,600 equals E to the 3R. Notice that I'm writing R times 3 as 3R. Now, if I wanted to, I could reduce this fraction, but since I know that for this problem I'm going to pick up my calculator and round, there's no reason for me to reduce that fraction. I'll get the same answer whether I reduce it or not, and there's no reason to do work that's unnecessary. But what is necessary is that I need to figure out how to solve this. Because we were asked for a decimal, I'm going to take the logarithm of both sides. It can be log base 10 or log base e. But because the base of my exponential is e, I will choose to take the natural log of both sides, the log base e of both sides. So on the left, I will have the natural log of this fraction. And on the right, I will have the natural log of e to the 3r. Now, this is the 3rd or 4th video in a row that included something like this, and so I am not going to show step by step by step why this entire expression turns into 3r. If you have any questions about that, please refer to earlier videos. All right, so we have that. And since we're trying to solve for r, we divide by 3 on both sides. And we get r is exactly equal to the natural log of 3,014 divided by 2,600, all divided by 3. And when we say all divided by 3, we really mean it. Make sure that the entire logarithm, the entire ln, is divided by 3. All right, now we pick up and put this in our calculators. So I'm going to make a fraction first using my cool n over d button. In the top, I'll put natural log, which gives me a starting parenthesis. 3014 divide 2600, close parenthesis, down arrow, hit a 3, enter, and round. And this is giving me a decimal. Remember that I have to convert it to a percent, so I'm going to have to multiply by 100. This is telling me 0.049252218. Multiply that by 100 to convert it to a percent. So R is equal to 4.925221839, and then round, and we're rounding to 2 decimal places, so R is approximately equal to 4.93%. 4.93%. Okay, so we found the interest rate, and that is the end of this problem.